Hello, welcome to Zigmatech Learning Hub. I will be your instructor for mathematics. For this class, we are going to be taking our exercises from the Examguide app. If you don't have the application already installed on your device, I will want you to download the app in order to follow along in this class. Examguide is a leading educational app that helps students prepare adequately for various exams like UTME, post-UTME, WAEC, GC, KCPE, IJMB, JUPEB, BECE, SSCE, NCEE, and NECO, etc. You can download the app from www.examguide.com or Google Play Store. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to be updated on new videos. Ready for today's class, okay? Let's get started. You're welcome once again to today's class, still on equation, part 3. Graphical method of solving quadratic and simultaneous equation, meaning one linear, one quadratic. What do I mean by one linear, one quadratic? One of the equations will be linear, and one will be what? Quadratic. Maybe 5x plus 6 equals 0, something of this nature. But you know, in WAEC, they put everything together. We are going to be treating the quadratic format first, whereby y will be given as 2x squared plus maybe 3x minus 2, something of this nature. Then, in the later time, we will involve the linear one. But before we start to solve, I want to show you the nature of a quadratic graph. In quadratic graph, we'll have the positive one or the maximum graph, which takes the N shape, and the minimum graph, which takes the U shape. Look at maximum graph, N shape. While minimum graph, U shape. We call it minimum. Minimum graph. While the other one is what? Maximum graph. Then linear graph, the one that will join like this or this way. You now call it one linear, one quadratic. They come in the minimum form or in the maximum form. At the end, our interest for this equation now is for you to learn how to do what? Formulate a given table. Use graph to solve a linear equation. Use graph to solve quadratic equation. But now we've not started the proper plotting of graph. Our interest here is what? Formulation of quadratic table. Like I've explained before, the nature of quadratic graph, we have the maximum and the minimum graph. Now, we are going to deal with formulation of tables of values. Question. Copy and complete the table of values for the relation y equals 3x squared plus s minus 7. Neglect this part not equal to 0 because you have equal to here. So just minus 7. So the standard equation here is that y equals 3s squared plus s minus 7 is the equation. Now, whenever y gives you a table, the ones whose value are known, you don't need to touch it in exam condition. except you are just a beginner, you want to be sure of what you are about to solve. You can now do what? You test. Otherwise, solve the vacant one, the ones whose values are not given. And when you solve, you circle it. Let's continue. For WAEC, they will give you table. But for NECO exam, table will not be given to you. They will tell you for the range of values of S starting from -3, less than equal to S, less than equal to 3. That's what NECO will tell you. -3, less than equals S, less than equals 3. No table will be given to you. You are the one to assign it by knowing that from inequality, your knowledge in inequality, -3 must be there, -2 must be there, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. But WAEC will make it easier for you. No much stress. If you are paying attention in what you are doing in school, WAEC, I think they are helping students in a way by giving you the clue. But NECO, they are not interested on how you are feeling. They bring in what they think they want to give to you, believing that you should understand it. Now, let us form this table properly. Now, the first value there was -3. We are not looking for -3 because it's already filled. So you now say when S equals -2, okay? Y equals 3. What is S? -2 squared plus S. What is S -2? -7. Meaning 3 times 4 -2 -7, because square of -2 is +2, which is 12 -9. Now 12 -9 is 3. So our answer there is what? 3. Remember, you must have your table somewhere. -3, -2. This is their own. Why this is your own? You circle it. The next is -1. Is -1 given? No. You solve. When S equals -1. Don't complain to say, must we do it? What if you punch the calculator and get it? Well, good for you. When they see the table, they may manage to dash you 1 mark. Then your steps, you can pay for it. So when S is -1, Y equals 3 into -1 all squared plus bracket -1 -7 will give us 3 -8, which is -5. So you come to this place, you write -5, you circle it because you are the owner. You solved it yourself. Nobody did that for you. So they gave here 23. They gave for under this -7. Now the next, when S equals 1, Y equals 3 into 1 squared plus 1 -7 to give us 3 plus 1 -7, 4 -7 to give us -3. You write -3, you circle it. What do you have next? When S equals 2, when S is 2, Y equals 3 into 2 all squared plus 2, which is your S -7. To give us 3 times 4 plus 2 -7, to give us 14 -7, 7. So here is what? 7. Circle it. This is the table for this relation. Just a copy and complete the table of values for the relation Y equals 3S squared plus S -7. So Look at the table. You can see it's the same thing you have here that you're still having on the solution table. So let us look at another one you can solve. This is another type they can give to us. At times, they will print the one that has a decimal point. But all the same, they are all the same pattern of solving. Y equals 4x squared minus 20x plus 25 plus 25. When you have this, let's say when s equals 1, our table, this is s, this is y. This one started from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y equals 4 into 1 square minus 20 into 1 plus 25. This will give us 4 minus 20 plus 25. This plus this, 29 minus 20 equals what? 9. Then you write, circle it. The other one was 25, is their own. So when s equals 2, y equals 4 into 2 all squared minus 20 into 2 plus 25 to give us 4 times 4, that's 16, minus 40 plus 25. This is 31, 41 minus 40 equals 1. So you circle it. You solve for when s is 3. When s equals 3, y equals 4 into 3 all squared minus 20 times 3 plus 25. This is 9 times 4, 36 minus 60 plus 25. This will give us 36, 25. That is 61 minus 60 equals 1. You write. Then 4 was given to us as 9. So finally, when s equals 5, y equals 4 into 5 all squared minus 20 times 5 plus 25. This will give us 5 squared is 25 times 400 minus 100 plus 25. This will take care of this to give us what? 25. So here is also 25. This is the first method which may be your choice when you are solving. But look at another way where some people may prefer that one. Okay, take note of this. I want to clean and refix the next table. Plotting of graph is not a problem. It's formulation of table and the division of graph. Plotting is not an issue. Okay, this is the next one I'm talking about. If y equals 4x squared plus minus 20x plus 25. You now say this is x, okay? And the next thing, interpreting this y is this, the whole values of s. So under s, we have 4s squared, which is the first one. We have minus 20s, which is the second one. We have plus 25, which is the third one. I will now have y itself, which is this table. So from here, we have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and finally 5. The good thing about this one is that the constant in the question, you write it all through. That is plus who? 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25. Okay? You have achieved that row. For this, when x equals 1, 4x squared implies 4 into 1 square, which is what? 4 times 1 equals to 4. You write. Then minus 20x will imply what? Minus 20 times 1 equals what? Minus 20. You write. Or you interpret because you have value all through to get y, which is our target. This is 4 plus this 29. 29 minus this is what? 9. You circle it. You can see what we have before is the same thing we are still having here. It's the same thing. Now let us look at for 2. When s equals 2, 4s squared implies 4 times 2 squared. They give us 4 times 4, which is 16. And also, minus 20s will imply what? Minus 20 times 2, they give us minus 40. Abi? Okay, if we have minus 40, the first one here is 16. All right, the second is minus 40. This plus this is 41. 41 minus 40 is 1. Still the same solution. You can see it. In that same solution, we are still having. Let's do one more, then we'll think about another thing. Since you have seen the way to solve this, there is a little bit somehow lengthier than the first one for me, but I don't know for you. When x equals 5, 4x squared imply 4 times 5 squared, which is 4 times 25, 100. You write 100. Minus 20x now will imply minus 20 times 5, which is minus 100. All right. So 100 minus 100, 0. Is remaining 25. Right, plus 25. You circle it. So can you see how this can be done when you are using the longer method or whichever method, the quadratic method. The other one is just, I call it direct simultaneous equation, that is substitution method. Well, this one, you are picking it one after the other. Let's see the solution table for it. Now, let us watch how a quadratic graph will look like. But this time around, it's just the basic aspect of the plotting. When we now do the replotting and start to solve those questions that make some of you to leave that graph when you are in exam condition, when we get our graph board, you are going to see the detailed analysis of how a graph can be handled. But meanwhile, let us sketch it on the board so that you see how it will look like. But before the plotting of graph, there's something I want you to have at the back of your mind. In any graph you are plotting or you are to plot, listen very well. The scale of the graph is very important. The title of the graph, very important. Then division of graph, very important. And the third one I mentioned now is where most of you have problem. Majority plot graph by guessing at what they think in their mind, which best suits or best fits what they think is that they are doing. But the truth, both in physics graph and in maths graph, there must be a division of graph. How do you handle division of graph? You know, when you think about image and object, what you are offering is the object. Why the graph you have? Let's see it as an image. Because you as a human being, you are the one providing the figures of what we're going to plot, or seeing our graph itself as the object and what you are to enter, or the values you are to enter under your vertical axis and y-axis, the vertical axis and the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, or you call it abscissa, the vertical axis, or you call the ordinate, which is the y-axis. There is a division that must go on before it. And it is now known that in WAEC graph, we are making use of what? 2 centimeters to represent a given unit. Be it 2 units, 4 units, 5 units, any number may be assigned to you for y-axis. Likewise, the x-axis. Now, in every 2 cm in graph, there are 10 squares in it. A rough estimate. Look at, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For vertical axis, horizontal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will claim one part. Watch what I'm doing. Don't take this as a joke. This is your 2 cm in graph. 2 cm. To whichever unit they desire. But your own count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many squares are here? 10 squares. Assuming that you were told to represent 2 cm to, let's say, 5 units, the next one should be what? 10. While the next one will be what? 15. The next one will be what? 20. I am talking about graph division now. Division of graph. Okay. Now to know your working value, so when you plot, you know what you are doing. Is to know that each unit given to you, which is 5, after 5 the next is 10, after 10 the next is 15. Ask yourself, what is the difference between 10 and 5? Is 5. Difference between 10 and 15 is also 5. 20 and 15 is also 5. Meaning your working scale now, or the working division, the division for this graph is what? 5 all over. How many squares do you have in a graph? Is 10. Meaning 1 over 2. That is 0.5. This will now mean that each square, 1 square equals 0.5. Then 10 squares equals, implies 10 times what? 0.5, which will give us what? 5. That is good. And that is that for under this condition. Another condition is if your scale is 2 cm to what? 2 units. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No issue. All you need to know, what is the difference between the first number and the second number? It's just 2. Now your graph division here, graph division equals what? 2 all over 10, because we already know that from one particular two cm to another one, each graph box here is carrying 10 squares each. So 2 over 10 will give us what? 1 over 5, which is what? 0.2. Meaning each hole now 0.2, depending on the axis you are operating with. Now, if your graph goes this way, each square is 0.2. If your scale is multiples of 5, each square is 0.5. And those of you that plot physics graph, because you complain most of the times because you are saying 0.5, 0.7 something something, this should not be a problem to you. What do? What's the difference between the second number and the first number? That is 0.5 minus 0.7 minus 0.5, which is what? 0.2. Now, our graph division based on this physics plotting is going to be what? 0.2 divided by 10. Whatever it gives to you, that's what your graph will be reading. Like I said before, I'm going to end just in the calculation of division of graph. When we get our graph board, we are going to plot and interpret those small questions that makes you to become afraid in exam hall whenever you see a graph question. Thank you for participating in today's class. You can practice more questions using the Examguide app. The app scores and give a detailed explanation of all the questions at the end of your practice test. You can learn a particular topic of interest with different modes like study mode, mock mode, and practice mode. It also has other features that make learning fun. It is a must for all serious students. Download from www.examguide.com if you don't have it yet. See you in the next class. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell and share the videos to people that will benefit from it. Bye.